Right. The market that I've got the most interest in at the moment, one of the markets I've got the most interested in, I'll come to in a minute, it's oil. But let's just, before we do anything, just look at this dollar. If this dollar picks up here, this is a major support zone here. This could spell problems for the indices, but if we get above this 103, then that could cause some serious problems. Excuse me. So nothing to be alarmed about at this stage, but plenty of scope. The one thing that has been very volatile is this Bitcoin, because it's about to get ETF approval, so we can trade this with lower leverage using an ETF if it gets approval, which looks likely. So I think this is decent support down here. The 24 lows, which I think are buyable, are just underneath here at 41 100. If it does take a deeper breath, then 38,000 is the place to get in, which is where we broke up from on the 1st of December. My feeling is we will hold here and build back up again and go to 52k, particularly if that gets rubber stamped. Okay, so quick look at the pound. I'm going to zip through this today. Um, Forgotten to double check what data's on. Let me have a quick look. So US are off today, Martin Luther King Day. We've got UK jobs in the morning, 7 o'clock. Um, CAD inflation, Chinese GDP, UK inflation on Wednesday. So it's a busy day for the UK, a busy week for the UK this week. Core retail sales on Wednesday. That's going to be the highlight of the week, I think. Is the US consumer still spending? Yeah, that's the high point of the week for me, Wednesday. If that US consumer is still spending, then this market can still go up. And let's look at the NASDAQ. So yeah, we look as if we can break this 17,000. We're going to go to 18.7 if we can break here. So there's absolutely no reason to short this market at the moment, unless we start closing under these key averages. S&Ps. Now, okay, so the buy area for the S&P for this week is, let me just get the right chart. Well, just to get this daily, if we peel back into Wednesday at 47.50 and subsequently close above this 4800, then I think we can start to go to 4900. In fact, let's just fib this most recent, let's just fib the 24 range. Yeah, so when you pull back into 47.30, 47.50, would then give us an opportunity. If we break that high, we've got 48.32, 48.80. If we can go to those levels. Hi, Andy. On the S&Ps. So that's the most immediate levels to watch out for. And on the UK. UK is down to its 50-day average, so that's nothing to be alarmed about at this stage. However, if we don't, we close lower into that underneath the half of last year's range, which is the dotted line. So if we continue to close lower, we're going to see at least 75.30 and potentially all the way down to these 23 lows. unless we start to perk up. So we've come down here on low volume. So there's a lot of red on this chart. In fact, we've only had a higher day on the 8th and the 12th. There's one other there on the 4th. Okay, so we're not that many days into this year yet, are we? Still not trading days. So, like I said, if we come into these lows, um, come into 75.50 and hold, then we can pull up. But if at the moment the jury's out, so that's got to hold up here. Let's look at the gold. What's the entry and potential move up into gold? So, give me one moment. Um, I would this week I would try and buy 2040. We pulled right back to this 2015 last week. When was that? Thursday. That was the inflation data, wasn't it? So we got UK retail sales on Wednesday. And we're above all the averages. So buy pullbacks and still until this thing stops working. So I think 2037, 38, stop on the 2015 and see if we can break this 2065 and go back to the highs. A lot of resistance up there at 2065. We've had a very slow start to the year. We're going nowhere in this gold at the moment. So a pullback, if you've got a market that is bullish but not going anywhere, then we need a deeper pullback. So we could see a deeper pullback to 2015. It's worth holding out for a pullback to 2015. Putting an order in there, if it doesn't get filled, we start closing higher. You just have to buy higher. And let's look at oil. So we had a big day on Thursday the 11th. We're underneath both averages here. So I think I would love to see this come back to 71 again, or obviously the big round number 70, because commodities that we know like round numbers. Again, it's a fairly sluggish day. So at week starts of the year, big move on the 3rd of Jan, big move on the 11th, and a lot of nothing since. If this market is very bullish, then we're going to start to see this pick up above 73 and go into 75 plus 75.80. If I peel back from this, you can see we did a lot of we had a good move in March, but the start of last year was very range bound. So if we end up with this pattern over here, get the pen. I think oil is really important as well. I think it's my favorite market at the moment. I think this is the one that's, of all the day trading markets, this is the one that's going to potentially going to pop. So this time last year, we did a lot of nothing and then had a deep pullback. And we're doing a lot of nothing at the moment, although we are holding this support. So at the moment, I'm still keen on buying. 71.40 was the low today. I'd like to buy 70.80, this low down here, with a stop underneath the 24 lows, and then see if we can, if that initial move up is followed by a pullback which holds, then I'm looking for this to go back into 75.80. So I would still hold out for 70.80 or 70.50 this week. So I'm bullish the oil, trying to buy a pullback, but just conscious that we may need a much deeper move back. we may pull right back into this support here at next month. So we may just swim around here doing nothing at the moment, and then pull back into this slingshot move and see a move under 70 like we did last year and then pick up. So I'm still buying 71.40 or 70.80 this week. 70 and then see if we can break this high and push up. So very unexcited movements at the moment. Fairly slow start to the week. We've shrugged off the Houthi issue so far. Obviously, it's got a lot of conflict out there at the moment. The geopolitics is a bit of a hotbed at the moment, and we have got UK and US inflation elections this year. So gold and oil are, for my money, still definitely. This is a potentially a lovely little bull flag up here in the gold, but we do still need a decent pullback. We need a pullback for this week, of which 2039, 2040 may be all you're going to get. Right, quick look at a couple. I just start moving a lot faster now. Just go through a couple of commodities. Talk about the stocks I'm most interested in. I like the copper. Liking copper a lot here. I'm expecting a lot from copper this year. Copper's the new oil. So, I mean, I'm in this, taking a little bit of heat. But if we close underneath 37.35, then be warned. Otherwise, I like this. Wheat. Liking this a lot. 5.95. Obviously, we've got to get above, got to hold 610. Crop reports plant reports are coming out very soon. I should know the dates of that. I'll go and find them out. But if we hold this support, close above 610, then I'm looking for this to really go back to at least 750, if not 8 plus. I was bullish on this last year. Apart from a few moves up, we didn't get a lot out of it, but stay tuned. Corn. Yeah, that's interesting. So this is reason to be cautious. Normally these grains move in tandem. With the wheat and the corn particularly, soybeans tends to be on a leg on its own chart, but yeah, so I'm still not overly concerned about this. Obviously, we're getting lower lows, and the buying volume is just not there. So we have to be very cautious, but I'm just keeping a very close eye on this because we get above 470 anytime soon, then again, I'd expect that to take off. Right, let us I want to look at a couple of stocks. Centrica. I think this is, if we see 145 in Centrica, I think that is a buy. We may not get as low as that. There's certainly no gap down there, but I think this Centrica is primed to go off. I just think we need a deeper pullback. So had a good start to the year. So we kicked off at 140. We've seen 158. You may not get a pullback. If this is as bullish as I think it might be, we won't come. 145 is the most likely pullback. If you don't see that, if we start getting above 150, then you're going to need to buy higher. But now the volume suggests there is a problem with this. So it's best to sit, be patient, and even if it means buying higher, I would recommend you just be patient and let that play out a little bit longer. But 145, I think, is a good place to start to dip your toe in the water, start to buy some. Drax posted this in November 14. Right. So this is hitting a lot of resistance up there at 540. So the main support here is 495. I'm looking for this to get back to £6 plus. Why this chart's not up to date, I will do that now. I think we're going to see 555, but I would suggest that this Drax is a good one for a pullback at 145. What am I talking about? 495. Right, couple of anything you want me to look at? Let's call up the miners. Pan-African flailing around doing nothing at the moment, but with a huge amount of support under there. Hostchild has this is a huge support area. There's a lot of volume coming down here on this pullback. So I would suggest that Hostchild is a good buy because if we can subsequently hold here and close above 97 plus, I think that one could get head of steam up. We just don't chase it. Look for a pullback. Um, Now I need to look at Lloyd's. Where are my banks? Right. Wow. Right on, look at that. Right on this, that's boomerang back to the trendline support, but it's dropped hard on volume. I think they're not had results, have they? I'll check that later on. That has pulled back right into a key area. So be on your guard because this could be a good opportunity to get in. 42 may well see a move back to 42, not that far off 42. What's the story on that, Annie? Barclays is pulling back as well. Let me just look at other things. This is a sector that has been beaten up. AstraZeneca. Now that saw a lot of volume in December, so don't shy away from these. Just keep a close eye. Bit of a ragged chart. GSK. Now that's gone. Well, when I say gone, I mean that's high. So it makes me wonder if AstraZeneca could get a pullback. In the US, Medtronic, look at that massive gap up there. That is now running. Bristol Myers. Now, watch Bristol Myers very closely because that had a lot of volume on Friday. Didn't make a significant close. Watch this 50-51 on Bristol Myers. Right. And East you in Drax. Not Drax. Dark Trace. I don't know why I said Drax. I've talked about Drax already, haven't I? What is it in me tonight? This Dark Trace is has had a good boost, but now we're hesitating again. Wow, this huge jump on the 18th. Um, Leaping around a lot. Right, let's get the measure of this. I'm not in this one, but Andy is. So let's. It's not done. It had a pretty quiet 23, didn't it? Right, so it's hit resistance up there. Huge amount of resistance. Um, so if we close underneath 340, we could come all the way back to 280, 290. But in the meantime, we had a big push up there on the 11th on volume. So assuming we don't get underneath 340, this could start to climb back to 426 and 487. What's your target on Dark Trace? We've been trapped in this price. So once we did a three-wave drop from mid-September into this 340, went nowhere for the last quarter of 23, pulled right back and pushed up from that support in 24. You're looking for £6, right? Um, so the last major high was 560. It's all about 426 for me. And we're some way off 426 at the moment anyway. But if any time in the coming weeks and months we can get it close above 425, then there's a decent chance we can see 550 and potentially six. That was a lovely bit of volume on the 11th. So as long as we can hold this 335, 325, then yeah, it looks good. Cybersecurity is the name of this one. The industry that one is in, Pfizer. Again, this is like Bristol Myers. I mean, I'm liking this sector because it's so beaten up. So I am very keen on keep on getting into some of these. This one's come a long way, hasn't it? It's starting to hold this average, so this is very much a watch at the moment, this Pfizer. The volume appears to be coming in on this supply line. Let's just see if that can. A deeper pullback is on the car, likely by the look of it. Just need to see some more positive moves there. Anything you want me to look at? Otherwise, I will go and get something to eat. Um, what's the retail sector looking like? My lists are all messed around. Sorry about this. It's all higgledy-piggledy. Need to what's my retail list? AAL. Ooh, yes. That is a very interesting chart, given primarily because this volume that's coming in. So we've lifted up off 1650 into 20 quid. Yeah, I thanks for that. That is beginning to look interesting. Huge swipe down here on the 8th December. But if we can start to see some high numbers here, that would definitely get me interested in AAL. Um, I'm frustrated I can't find my retail list. Pulled it up manually. Right, let's look at the bell, one of the main bellwethers next. Wow, that's had a good time. And the supermarkets are doing well, aren't they? Well, they were last time I looked. I'm not in them, as you can tell. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. But AAL definitely looks interesting. Thanks for joining me, and I'll t update you soon. Thanks.